Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in my tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. I'm not feeling that great. Today is actually Friday, Good Friday, and I have been under the weather since Monday with a really bad headache, kind of achy, that sort of stuff. But my youngest, Jamie, was able to find some rapid home tests, and I took one yesterday, and it's not the Rona, so yay. It's still probably the flu of some sort, or maybe it's a cold, though I'm not sniffly. I don't know. I'm just tired, kind of achy, and I cannot get rid of this headache. So I want some comfort food. Last night I made red lentil stew so that I would have food for the next few days that was hearty and healthy and would help me get better. But today I just want something, I want some comfort food, and so I'm going to make banana muffins. This is a recipe that can be made into a loaf as well, but I think I'm going to make them into muffins this time around just to make them easier to eat, because apparently I'm extra lazy when I'm feeling sick. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. I hope you try it. I'm going to show you the ingredients and then we're going to get to making it. It's super easy, as all my recipes are, and it's not totally unhealthy. There's very little oil in there. There is some sweetener, there is maple syrup, surprise, but I would say it's a lot less unhealthy than some other banana bread or banana muffin recipes. Here are the ingredients you're going to need for these banana bread muffins. You need some bananas. 3 medium size-ish. I don't really, use as many bananas as you want to. I'm going to use this large one and these 2 sort of medium-sized ones. Whole wheat flour, white flour, baking powder, some oil, some applesauce, maple syrup, some cinnamon, some vanilla extract, salt, and then a muffin tin. I'm going to use this big muffin tin and these parchment paper extra large baking cups, and because I'm using the extra large muffin tin, it's not really a tin, muffin tray, then I'm only going to make 6 large ones. And then obviously a bowl for your dry and a bowl for your wet ingredients. That should be all we need. First thing I've done is mashed up my bananas. Now, the one thing about this recipe, about any recipe that includes mashed bananas, is that the texture of mashed bananas just makes me want to whoa. So I've mashed them really quick. You want somewhere between 1.5 cups of mashed bananas. I just usually use 3 bananas, and whatever that ends up being is what I use. If you want it more banana-y, then use more bananas. That's all that I have to say. And I don't remember when I was going over the ingredients if I mentioned pecans. I'm using chopped pecans in this recipe. You can also use walnuts, or you can leave these out altogether if you are nut free. So let's get to mixing up the dry ingredients. You want 1 cup each of whole wheat flour and white flour. You could make this all with whole wheat flour, but I think it would be pretty dense. So my recommendation is to use 1 cup of each. But having the whole wheat flour makes them just that much more healthy and gives you that extra fiber, which is always good. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, because we always want to add a little salt in our recipes, our sweet recipes. Whoops, see? That's why I don't do it over the bowl. I have made that mistake a couple of times and ended up with a lot of salt in my recipe, which is no good, no bueno. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Whisk that to get that combined. And then set that aside and start with our wet ingredients. Into our bowl go our disgusting but delicious mashed bananas. It's going to be thicker than a traditional banana muffin or banana bread recipe because we're not using eggs or milk or anything like that. Okay, so we have that. And then we're going to use a half a cup of applesauce. This is unsweetened pure applesauce. These little containers are a half a cup. And I do this to cut down on the amount of oil that I need to use in the recipe because I'm only going to use 2 tablespoons of oil. I personally think it needs a little oil, but if you don't use oil, then just omit it and see how it turns out. I've never done it without. Okay, oh, lemon juice. Forgot to grab the lemon juice, and I forgot to put the lemon juice in the ingredients. We need lemon juice. This is what happens when you're feeling fuzzy. Okay, lemon juice. I need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I think this is pretty much empty, this one. Oh, yeah, empty. The lemon juice is the chemical reaction between the lemon juice and the baking powder in this recipe is what gives it the rise. So you do want to add the lemon juice. Do not omit the lemon juice or your muffins or your loaf will not rise. And this is also why we wait until we're ready to bake to mix the dry and the wet ingredients together. So preheat your oven to 350, which is something I should have said at the beginning of this whole video. That's 350 Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, I apologize. Okay, so we've got our applesauce, our oil, our bananas, our lemon juice. We want 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. That was more like 2, but I don't care. And then we're going to use maple syrup as our sweetener of choice, and I'm going to add a half cup of maple syrup. This isn't going to be as sweet as adding sugar, so, but you can try it with a half cup or a quarter cup. You can try it with a quarter cup and see if that's enough for you. But if you've watched any of my recipes, you know how much I love maple syrup. Canadian gold, as I like to call it. Make sure you splash some on you because there's nothing like mashed, slimy bananas splashed on you. Now, I have my wet ingredients mixed. I have my dry ingredients mixed. So now I'm going to, oh, cinnamon. Fuzzy. Let's add some cinnamon to the, let's add some cinnamon to the mix. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. The whole recipe will be linked in the show notes. What am I learning today? I'm learning that maybe when I'm sick, it's not a good time to film a recipe, but it's the time when I feel like eating something yummy. And then I think, well, if I'm making something yummy, I might as well show you guys what I'm making. I don't know. Okay, so let's just get these muffin liners in here. Again, I use these parchment paper ones. They are, what brand is it? Paper Chef. If you can find them, really recommend them because nothing sticks to them. I promise you. They're the best liners I've ever found. So now that I have these ready and my oven is preheated, we're going to mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Just fold them in, and then I'm going to fold in a cup of the pecans. Oh, that's a nice sound. It's a good thing I'm not nauseous. Would not be able to make this recipe if I was nauseous. Just too many gross bits. Not gross, delicious, but texture-wise. I'm a very texture person. So, all right. So just fold that in. We don't want to overmix it, but we do want to get all the flour mixed in. So just be patient. Like I said, it will be thicker than a traditional banana bread batter or muffin batter because we are making something that is vegan and so therefore different. So let's add that 1 cup of chopped pecans now. All right, good. So now we can fill our cups. I used to have an ice cream scoop that I would use for this, but it broke. So I'm just doing it the old school way. You want to fill these up fairly full. No need to be skimpy with your muffins. All right. So now I'm just gonna tap those down and I'm gonna put them in the oven. For muffins, you're gonna want to put them in 25 to 30 minutes. If you were making a loaf, it would be more like 55 to 60 minutes. But for muffins, it's usually 25, 30 minutes. So I'm going to clean up, make myself a cup of tea, and then we'll come back and see what they look like. They took 45 minutes. So here they are. And I'm going to open one up. And let's see what it looks like. This looks really good. See, these, I tell you, these parchment paper muffin liners are amazing. They're super good. So let's good that looks. It's still a little warm. And I'm gonna put, I've got some of this basil, the vegan. And let's give this a try. Oh my God, that's so good. That's exactly what I need today. I actually am feeling a lot better than I was even this morning when I woke up, which is nice. So I think I'm coming out the other end of whatever it is that I caught. You can make these into a loaf, like I said. The key is just to make sure that you don't mix the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients until you're just ready to bake. So make sure your oven is preheated and it's nice and hot. Delicious. I'd say it's healthier than some banana muffins and banana bread recipes because there's only 2 tablespoons of oil. There is a half cup of the maple syrup in there for the sweetener, plus the unsweetened applesauce and the bananas. But, you know, given that it's half whole wheat flour and you've got the pecans in there, we're going to call this health food. I hope you guys try it. Let me know if you do. Let me know how it turns out. I think I know why they took longer. It's because I'm using the big muffin tin, muffin mold. That's it, because it's silicone mold. Whereas if these were the regular 12 muffin tin size, the small size, the regular size muffins, the 12s, they would probably take more like 25 to 30, 35 minutes. But because these are the big ones, they take longer because they're bigger. I prefer the large muffin sizes, the large muffin tins. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying healthy. And I will see you next time.